Seattle Chocolates is celebrating 25 years by opening their factory to the public for the very first time. Priding itself as a woman-owned company with a steep local history, CEO and owner Jean Thompson gave us an up-close look at the factory churning out the sweet stuff.
Oh!
And that's just the reaction walking into their classroom just before the tour starts.
In here, we give them a history of chocolate, like how it was traded in the Mayan culture to how it was introduced to Europe, and milk was introduced to create milk chocolate, etc., all of that. Beyond this point, there's a chocolate factory. Anything can happen.
The factory greets you with an iconic image of this daring, if not completely inept, chocolate duo.
Ethel, she was working so hard.
She was trying so hard.
Only these conveyor belts move at the appropriate speed. But we'll get to that in a moment. Back to the tour of the 60,000 square foot facility, which starts with a lesson in chocolate, wisely disguised as a taste test.
And a truffle basically means that it has a softer center and a solid shell. So I usually have them take a bite at it at this point and take a look.
Let me just...
You might have to.
This mezzanine, added specifically for the tour, gives people a better view of how the factory was built with temperature in mind.
We joke heat rises and gravity pulls, so keep the hotter part of the process up so that it's not fighting below where we try to keep things cool with air conditioners and that kind of thing. So by being higher, it separates the two. And then the gravity, because it's in liquid form, will help pull it over without having to do so much pumping. And that's where the recipes are made. And we do it in 300-pound batches because it's easier to replicate and make sure that there's a consistent recipe delivery at a smaller size.
Those batches yield over 20 bar flavors, 25 truffle flavors, and frangos, which Seattle Chocolates has manufactured here for more than 14 years.
Dig in and try that.
And yes, you can taste a bit of all of it in the tasting room that completes the tour.
So that's Pike Place Espresso, and that is, like I said, an original Seattle Chocolates recipe.
Enough chocolate to make Lucy and Ethel proud, and their lesson endure. It's not about how much you churn out, it's about how good it tastes.
For us, it's not about doing something shocking or trendy or the latest phase. It's really all about delivering something that everybody loves.
Seattle Chocolates is also committed to giving back. For every J Cocoa bar sold, they donate a serving of fresh food to food banks across the country. And for every Pike Place Espresso bar sold, a portion of the sales goes to the Pike Place Market Foundation.
So I have a two-part question.
Sure.
The first question is, how do you get in on these tours? And the second question is, when you came back from the tour, you had these little Pop Rock chocolates.
Did I sneak you one of those, or I gave you?
No.
I think I gave Bill a normal one.
Oh, are those always available, or are those like a special thing?
They were part of, so they release holiday and special flavors, but they end up staying around for a while. I can't remember if that one was a particularly...
They were crazy good.
They were amazing. So to answer your first question, the tours are Monday. No, it's okay. I'm like, which one? Monday through Saturday is when you can do the tours. They're $10 each. You can sign up online, which they highly recommend. They do keep a couple spots open if you just want to pop in. And then as far as the flavor, that flavor you're talking about, yeah, it was a dark chocolate with
like
pink.
champagne.
It was called like a bubbly champagne, and it had pink pop rocks in it.
It was so good.
Like raspberry.
Chocolate Pop Rocks.
It sounds crazy and like you wouldn't like it, but you eat it. It's amazing.
Yes.
It was really cool.
It was like a chocolate explosion.
A little bit. And what I did downstairs, I warned you, but I went downstairs to our newsroom and I said, who wants a chocolate? And I didn't say anything about what the flavor was. They're like, what's this? I'm like, I don't know. And I just waited as they bit down and went, whoa, what is
It's an interesting surprise because you're chewing it and it's delicious, and then all of a sudden, bing, 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 bing.
It's like Ashton Kutcher of our newsroom
yeah,
here.
big prankster here.